Hello guys, what's up? I'm Foad, back with another video about programming. Today's video is part of a new series that I'm gonna be making for you guys, and it's gonna be about solving programming questions. We're gonna be solving some programming questions with various types and start from a beginner questions and make our way all the way to some expert questions. So if you want to be part of this journey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out when I post new videos like this, and sit back, relax, and let's jump right into it. Alright guys, I've got myself a couple of challenges, 3 to be exact, and here is them. You can see them. We're gonna do one by one and finish it off. So the first one is gonna be finding a factorial. So we're gonna say 5 factorial, and the computer is gonna calculate the factorial for 5. So it's gonna be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that's kind of a basic project, and I think that would be great for beginners. So let's jump right into it. Alright guys, the first thing that you have to do is to create yourself a new project. So I've done that. It's a new Python project, so I'm gonna open it up and start coding. Alright guys, before I go in details how we're gonna do this project, let me tell you what you should do in general to solve programming questions. So the first step is to understand what the question wants from you properly. So we've done that step. The second step is to see what are your tools, like your programming tools, and that's basically the programming knowledge that you're trying to learn, and you have to be an expert in that so you can use them to manipulate your problem. So the third one is your creativity. You have to be able to use all those tools that you've learned to be able to solve the problem you want to solve. So that's basically finding an algorithm to solve the project. So in this example, my algorithm will be like this. The first step is gonna be take an input from our user, and the second step is gonna be to define a total variable. Now we're gonna go to a for loop, and every time we're gonna subtract 1 from our user input and multiply that by our total variable. So I'm gonna do that here for you. So as I said, we're gonna say var is equal to input. I'm gonna also say int, since when you input something from a user, it's a text and you can't do mathematical operations on it. You have to first turn it into an integer to be able to do all those stuff. So integer input, say enter a number. Then we go to the next line and define our total variable. So total is equal to 0 for now. Guys, I just realized that we want to multiply stuff to our total, so we're gonna need 1 for it. Now we go to the next line and start our for loop. So let's say for, wow, it just did it by itself. No, I don't want this. Range of our variable, let's say total is equal to total multiplied by, now here is kind of a tricky part. So let's say our user inputs 5 as our variable. So the for loop is gonna go from 0 to all the way to 5. So it's gonna say 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's not gonna go to 5 either. So now, as you can see, it starts from 0 to 5. But we don't want to do it because the factorial that we are more familiar with is from like the other side to this side. I know it doesn't matter because it's a multiplication. For example, if you say 2 times 3 and 3 times 2 is the same, but for make it like more familiar for ourselves, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do here. So I'll say it's gonna be a little bit complicated, but it will be a little bit like more advanced. So total times the variable negative x. So subtract x from it. So I'm gonna put it in a parenthesis as well, because I don't want first to multiply the variable by total and subtract x from it. It's gonna be a whole other mess. So that's that. Now I just have to change the total to variable for now, and I think we should be good to go. So I'm gonna print the result at the end as well. Now guys, remember that when you're programming, one of the major part is debugging, and you have to look for your problems and go ahead and solve them. And I reassure you that none of the programmers code work at the first try. So guys, one more important note. If we do this thing, we are multiplying our first variable twice. So I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna just set total to 1 again. So I'm gonna go ahead and run that. Let's just say you didn't see that. And if I hit enter and enter 5, as you can see, it works and it's 125. If you don't believe me, here is a calculator, and 5 factorial is 120, and it worked the first time. Alright, so that's our first challenge being done. Now let's go to the second challenge. Alright guys, so this other challenge says that we want to be able to enter text from the user and output the reverse of it. For example, if we say, for example, input like I am, it's gonna say ma I, for example, something like that. So we're gonna program that. So as I said, we have to first think of our algorithm. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna get the input from our user, then find what is its length, and go ahead and use that length to design a for loop, which will go ahead and look at the user input and save it reversely in another variable. I'm gonna do it right now. So again, var is gonna be equal to input. What is that? All right, input, I don't know, enter a text. And as you have probably seen, I'm not using the int function because I want it to be a string. So that's that. Now I'll define the variable called length. And this is going to be essentially be equal to the length of our variable. So I'm going to use the function len. This is the short for length, and say var. And this will essentially say how many letters the sentence that our user have entered has. So that's that. Now I'm gonna go to the for loop for x in range length. We go ahead and say that new var is equal to our x and our variable length minus x. So you see our for loop will go 0, 1, 2. And I want to go from, for example, let's say our word has 5 letters. So I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to subtract the for value, essentially the x value, from the length of our letter, and we're gonna, instead of going from 0 all the way to 5, we're gonna go from 5 all the way to 0. So that's what I'm doing here. Now I'm just gonna save it and go ahead and run it. I don't even want to spend a couple of seconds to see if there is any problem, so I'll just go ahead and run it. So Python, let's go ahead and do that. Enter text, let's say hello. Alright, apparently we've got a problem. String index out of range. So we're basically referring to an string index which doesn't exist. Let's see where that happens. So first our x is going to be 0. So we're going to subtract 0 from our length. And the max point that our x is going to go, if we hit, for example, let's say hello as our word, it's going to go all the way into 4. And when we subtract 4 from our length, oh, I see, we have to subtract -1 from it as well, because you see it doesn't start from 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to start from 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's that. I think that should solve the problem. So Python, let's say hello. We forgot to print it. Print the new var, go ahead and run it again. Hello. What the hell? Oh, sorry. Our new variable has to be updated. So I'm gonna say new var is equal to nothing for now, and I'm gonna say new var plus that. So we have to update our new variable again and again, not just assign a single value to it. That should hopefully fix our problem. So Python hello as a text, and as you can see it does it, and as you can see it's like the reverse of the hello. And you see guys, we had a lot of problems, and we just go ahead and manipulate those problems, see what have caused that problem and fix that, and go ahead and run it again, see if there's any more problem, and repeat this process again and again until we have a pleasant result. Guys, here is me 3 weeks after that I originally filmed this video, and when I was editing it I realized that I forgot to film the ending or the outro. So here is me 5,891 kilometers away from the location where I filmed this video, and you see my setup is not completed yet because I was a little bit busy. So I reassure you I'll make the setup back again, and it will look like the same from the like the previous one. And so anyway, thanks for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed and learned something new. Leave a like in the video, and I'll be making more of this series for you so you can learn how to solve programming questions and problems, and eventually be a good programmer and expert programmer in whatever field you want to work in. So thanks for watching and have a nice day. Oh, just forgot to say that. Remember to subscribe, share this video with your family and friends, and leave a like. Bye.